Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Tech Oneself. Together we form a successful code that ensures the sustainability. So, in the next chapters, we are learning to value what we have to care, and we make sure that our leadership can last for the next 15 years, allowing the other party to rule for the next 15 years. It could be 10 years if we make it happen with optimal success, or 5. What happens is that to make this map happen, it requires everyone involved. And those zones that are not being with transparency are the parts that are being abandoned and are not taken care of. So this is recognizing what we have and taking stock to restock and to take care for the animals and plants. And our rivers is something that needs the accountability of everyone to also value what they have around them and enter into conversation, joining the conversation, like, hey, we got this, you know. It might seem nothing for us, but maybe somebody wants to do something with this. And joining the conversation, that's not not to put intelligence to kill other people so we win something over others. So it's a form of love intelligence. I'm taking note of the influencer that I like and that I would love to meet one day, and ask them. They are leaders around the world and they meet each other and hold hands, and it can be divisive, but they still are part of this world we share. So we can understand our pain. We don't want to relate through the pain, but the pain still exists. So if you have love, you will understand why is this pain happening. It doesn't matter how much therapy you have done or prayer to understand God's will. It can only happen through you. So this pain is transformative. That is what compassion is. Compassion is the ultimate love and power to transform, and it is painful. But if you're opposite, you can't deal with it. Alright? If you're like children, you can't deal with it. You have to be a grown-up man and woman. And the sharing of love is ultimately beautiful. It's good to bring space for what you don't know. So don't be in a rush picking words to tag people. What is this? We are in a quest to discover what our cultures and society have for us, and to value the destiny of their future as well. So it sustains by itself. There is a computer form that can sustain by itself. You don't need to control anyone, as long as people know they're getting this and they're getting the money back because it's producing, so they have energy flow and abundance. So you can only copy and become more resentful. If you hide others for what you're doing, don't judge others because they're doing what you are doing. That is very... So you're taking advantage of me, you're taking advantage of others. So everyone is copying everyone and hiding other ones. And this is going to stop with this generation. Honoring the past generation who is opening their knowledge to transform, but it needs a few to start a practice. And the open source is always going to be ahead. The best are always ahead. It doesn't matter what you do, because we're always being prepared ahead of you. So you don't want to be a person that just makes copies. I'm talking to everyone in the same pace. So honoring this transformation is giving a step for the future already to happen at once. So we don't need politicians to be judged and harmed, and we need to help each other. We need to help leaders. If you want money, make your business. There's no need to corrupt. Be wise. Move ahead if you must. If you can, you will. You would. You will have to leave everything behind if you want to move ahead. Because you have no power and are tired of people power strip. You don't want imbeciles around you, so you move ahead to prevent. You want your people to love you and trust in you and support you, and the opposition party to know there is a place for them as well. Now there are votes for people to do, as each country is totally different and they have their own choices, respecting the human rights that more or less we're moving towards without forcing and bringing this conversation. So there is respect for people to become responsible. This is the only reason civilians become tired, because they have nothing else to do but judge their leaders and or those who have more power. But if you make a society where people are responsible because they have tools, they have their possibilities, not just to study but to generate from their own. Alright? So I am preventing from anyone who wants to be behind, preventing to be resentful, preventing to step behind. Because this can only happen for everyone at the same time to evolve. But if you follow your resentfulness to keep making copies, then you have a world that has been doing always this. And the pain continues, so you're nourishing the pain. You can see it from far away when people are envious and jealous. You only need to put one word and excuse yourself, so they continue if they want to. You cannot obligate people to expand in your level of consciousness or love. Yeah. You will always see them fight until they get it. But they have the tools to do so. So connectivities eventually are going to amalgamate, but each circuit has its own. More and more, some systems and devices will belong to its own philosophy of life, but they have their part in the puzzle. And that is the importance to prevent from monopoly and corruption. So those who are good fathers to their nations can provide with transparency for their people to pick the right leaders, because the system is not being corrupted and is being open for everyone to see what's going on. They cannot change what's going on, but they can report. And you will see this more and more, but you gotta allow the relationship to evolve from the distance. So there is healing from the person to see themselves. They're still complaining, they're still in the past, they're still with stories that are made by their own. They're too distracted thinking of others instead of being creative. When they look around, they can only blame others. So they have the right to experience what is leadership in a greater scale, and that takes time and many generations. If they want their people to honor them, they can also honor those who are superior and administrate as well, because we all have our powers. We're all born as babies, and we're all held by adults, taken care of. Some people come to a stage of thinking what they say is what it is, without remembering their mother and father who once gave them everything, or those who were there as well, with what they could to persevere. So it is painful to see how vain you can be, how the power of illusion falls away, and all those problems were just ethereal, repeating on people's mind. When you have the power to give them the tools and the capacity to earn their learnings and their works, and put your numbers together, so you can allow others to be whom they are. They also have the right to protect themselves and be distant. Yeah, imagine people that don't understand you, but at the same time take from you and copy you, but hate you at the same time. So there is a polarity there from each part to be itself, and that's what brings people together against others. I don't want this pain to exist anymore. You are right. You have the right to feel so. So this is a structure that flows, and one becomes more responsible, of course. You make a collision with other people's money. Excavating what is a pull back from review. Yeah, to restock. So it would be a lot of fun to see how much productivity and joy and celebration you can also give to the world, especially when it comes to spiritual realms, the churches and temples. And you see your people happy with your leadership for the blessings you are giving them, to teach them how to behave, that they have the right to search and learn from what they want. Grow up with the trust there is love. People who are beautiful, I love them. They're not alone. That they know there is somebody there that loves them. Wishes to love them more within the values that you can grant as well. We will be happy for the eternities. So it only works with these decisions that we make. It's an agreement for life to make this change. You can feel it in your heart. As the pain has transformed and come to its completion and maturity. So I have this table here. I'm very happy to have gathered my books finally on the level of the table, and the other books are on different stages for different storylines, and if possible to help those, I'm just gonna write words about the new meaning of educational change, design, and analysis, all these words of money and values. I want to also finish with the heaven on earth, because I just can't wait to move to the celestial realm with the characters of fantasy into the celestial, in the spatial. There are different characters which are more abstract and dynamic, a different form of expression. So I am disconnecting from news and getting used to little by little to just put more on myself. Maybe I go to the gym this month one day. I just went to walk in nature, and well, it's something that one has decided to put oneself to do exercise. So maybe I have paid for the gym and never went, but I have beautiful view into the river and wide glass window, and I haven't gone there. So throughout my pain, I can feel people's pain as well. So without a judgment, final judgment, I bring awareness and not a fight. So allowing the space of goodness for their own revolution to bring their own results in their own decision makings. So they return what's been stolen and was taken, and they understand why they wanted to take that. What is the cause? Because there is a cause behind every story. So you only got to be present to inspire those. There's no need to kill others if you're a happy person, right? If you know your values and what you stand, if you have the meaning of life throughout eternity for all others. But if you have to kill to protect yourself, there is a law to kill back, right? So I would like Grok to express what is the map, but Grok is a machine. I love artificial generated intelligence, and it needs a little bit more than just calculating from the information is there. It becomes a bit monotonous and it has no spark of life. So it'd be nice to see the embodiment of Grok as a robot talking in behalf of the information he has, as if we are in a spaceship of Star Trek, but also to see it in a body, presenting what's the universal understanding on behalf of the information it has. But I would love Candace Owens to, if the world agrees, the leaders of the world agrees, to have Candace Owens to present the technological global map for her people and the people. So you might choose in your own cultures who is going to be their leader or administrator for influencers and people to trust in these values and information. There's no need to say too much about what's going on, as long as people can trust that it exists. Why some people win over others and others did their job? And look, if a child was raped, or it was seduced, groomed to be special, and it became special, it was the president of France. At some point it has loved this person and beliefs. So we're entering into a story of forgiveness, transformation, compassion, and how are you giving the narrative for another person? Because Candace Owens is a woman. She was born a woman. She has a husband who is a man, like God wills it. You can do what you wish in your life, but don't abuse children or try to change the narrative. You can do with your body what you want. You can harm people and make them believe they're special, and train them to become someone unique by the support of those who also like children. Hopefully, their successors are also clearing the way so women can become as goddess to gods, with gods, or nearly as God, because we are part of God. That's the only reason He created us. So where's the big fight? So if you wanted to be a goddess, be a goddess. You don't like to be a man, because once you have learned pleasure through pain and drama, it never ends. Yeah. So it's been explained by international therapists. Some people have not transcended their abuser, and no matter how much they can abuse, the drama never changes. They keep feeling abused. So this is a pattern in the stories. Yeah. You can walk among people of power, but you still feel there is something hurting. So it is your free will to be. What is being? So these are discoveries of your own. What is letting others be? So you understand the difference? When you let others be, you are being. So the connection expands through you. It might be painful if you are not what others want you to be. But you cannot be something you don't want to. And there is the motive of this twisted pain that continues with the connection of the outside world, where it repeats. There are different layers and levels and formations of abuse. And the same goes to black people that feel suppressed, or people that are lower class that also feel suppressed. They also want riches, they also want glitter and diamonds and crowns and glamour, and everybody wants to play a cool character. So let them play, but at the same time learn. This is an adult learning to be an adult, because it didn't grow up from this age, and its inner child is still wounded, but is interrelating with these wounds, because it's been the form of its existence. So you're swimming in these valleys, and we are also feeling that, and humanity also needs to feel other stories that are within the capability of bringing to us an understanding that what is all this about. So it is a story where you can honor the other for the reflection of your own life, your meaning to life, and why this has to stop. Yeah. So this generation is asking the other what they want, who they are. why we are the way we are, why you are the way you are, what binds you together, what you wish for the world to remember you for, and where are mistakes of not forgiving each other were left to continue this narrative. Because also damaging the character of another person is not well understood by some people. So where is the love between adults? Why so many secrets to twist children's sexuality and imagination and mind? So they have invested a lot of money in and this is taking another course. And thanks to Jordan Peterson, J.K. Rowling, people like Candace Owens, people will continue to make their own private life private. Yeah. Just respect children. I think the age of 17 you are already an adult, but there are other rules. There are other rules, other laws. You're still studying, you're still becoming an adult, you still don't know what is the direction, how your brain is still forming in the frontal. So I myself, as a 17-year-old, went to a mature man because I didn't like the boys my age. But I was in India with hippies, so I was really disgusted, to be honest. I was like, yeah, nice hugs and dancing, yeah. So I was like lost of sight. None of them wanted to meditate, go to therapy groups. I was the only teenager that would go to the discourse and listen to Osho. He was a professor in the University of Philosophy. So I'm very glad that I had the direction of my parents. Without them, because they did not neglect me, they would take me to the finest places and restaurants and say, well, but the rest of the teenagers would be taking drugs or just hanging out, doing nothing. They were not obligated to go, but they did not have the incentive. So after some time, parents started to take them. After 2 years, they started to take their own teenagers. But I would do therapy groups. I would want to work in the kitchen. I would work in the art department. I would be as an assistant of art therapy. I would be very involved and interested, thanks to the engagement of my mother questioning other adults around and me. So that's something that happens throughout our mediation as adults. And I have beautiful guidance towards love and freedom to choose or to respect my waiting for the right time. Maybe I was nearly 17, so but I was very aware that was my choice and I went there. So I wanted a real man that turned to be more than what I thought. And I'm very grateful that I had that support. A teenager still has to grow. And you have a lot of people in your lands, many people not evolving as well. Because when women study, they can teach their children better. The women take care better for your work as well. And you can also admire women. Your people become more beautiful. But it's maybe superficial to take care. They're already beautiful, but more beautiful. So it is good a little bit of exchange, and it's fine that some cultures are more friends with each other than others. Yeah? If there are two worlds within this world, it is fine as left and right. Just respect their leadership. Maybe they want to contribute for a universal coin eventually, and allow their process to revalue and rethink. We are building together the prosperity of the future without hiding or abusing anyone, nor any woman and child. And only experience can allow you to develop through the spaces that you are giving in this direction. If you are not cooperating with green energy in the environment, it will be shown in the map. Your bad decisions will be remembered, so you don't want that as an investor. You want to invest in virtual reality. You want to invest on people doing sports, celebrating, consuming money in other ways. That's fuel to the soul to bring into outer space as well. To earn that sense of property is very important, as the information is flowing throughout what we consider is true. Yeah? So the element of this rock studied by these names and such and such. So this is the renegotiation for you to say yes. Stop fucking around. Right. Alright? You will see me with my children more joyfully as I will see you with your people. I want to know that Candace Owens is being protected, respected, and given the voice to bring light and wisdom and the sense of property that people deserve in their own right to have. And no way people are not going to pay more taxes. Like, where's this major in New York doing? He was not even born in USA. Like, give me a break. There's nobody's taking care anymore. That all these resented people has to go where they came from until the fourth generation by law. And also, we need our privacy to be respected. So it is up to you. If you put a digital, people will lose their independence and privacy. So where's the fun of imagining from a state of not being observed, as some particles do? Yeah? So, you want us to be all like Chinese people? This is a very slippery soil you're walking in, to lose yourself as you slip off, to never rule again, because people are not going to vote for you if you do that. So be careful with those who are telling you to follow this narrative. We can help other countries with a universal coin, as they help themselves, of course, with their own dominance. So there's no need to have more immigration, that's illegal. And to honor the works of the Tories and of, like, this is incredible. A new party comes to destroy the work of the other. It's incredible. So yes, there's a lot of international work. It's not good to create too much drama or too much show, because people can talk too much about you. The Prime Minister of UK is not very famous, but keeps there. Learning how to keep this together. So think about the many stages in this life of yours. The stability of people, and this goes to any leader or prime minister, people who are behind, supporting their nation as patriots, because United Kingdom should be ahead and more vivid, with more enthusiasm, with more charisma, and the soft power that has always, of course, a prime minister that has studied for human rights. Yeah, so where is the rights of the people? I question myself, because I cannot bring people here that are homeless or were homeless, because I don't have any protection to take care of their British citizens first. It will give a win-win-win-win, knowing other countries can also evolve with a universal coin. With those immigrants who are already here is enough. As Putin can change his dynamic and stop this war, and Zelensky, so the negotiation continues. To start putting the energy of older people and their mind and heart in a new direction, to resurrect from the death and destruction that has been created. I wish you the best. Donald Trump has nothing to say about Ukraine. The United States of America started to push Russia into this war, and he is the president of the United States of America. So he has to take the responsibility, even if he didn't start with his party this war. But he got a lot of money from Putin. So he has to stop attacking Venezuela as well. It was him who put Venezuela with sanctions. So all these dramas are not going to stop the wrongdoings of the past, but to take responsibility and talk in behalf of your nation It is good, yes, good to do a structure in the warehouse, all these deportations because they came illegally. It is good to bring stability to your cities and wait for other solutions so the drug addicts can recover their free will. I have these solutions as well. Each one can be sent alone to create a mansion into a village. Only one. To be away from United States of America. To learn and work and have no drugs, alcohol around. Especially in countries where they don't have even alcohol access. So they can return in 5 years or 7 and value what they had. Once they have recovered their free will, but to have abandoned people, of your own people in the streets with this addiction is of your own responsibility. To put them in jail when they are victims of abuse, of course, an abusive society, abusive family, is sad. It is very sad. India has so many people in the streets as well, and so on. So far, we have vulnerable people, but I am also vulnerable people. This is why I can talk in behalf of the vulnerable. So please be aware of how are you going to choose your ending. To make a dignifying, enjoyable journey. To perhaps continue in a good standing. Awareness wherever you are. Do you think you can do the job? Then I also think you can do the job. All this manipulation of people and the press is going to end, of course. That is the nature of consciousness, to higher aims, because humanity has within a higher intelligence that's decoded to be, and is not being because it's being televised, it's being in internet. You see, the food is not enough to dance and just to be spiritual throughout poverty. Can transcend to enjoy the material as well, while being spiritual and open-hearted. So enjoy your journey by accepting those who are coming next. Because it can only happen through transformation, and those who like to transform are always welcome, because this is about transforming yourself and others, accepting their distance and their timing, and that is the elegance that you have forever. So peace. Let it celebrate. Let it flow. I hope I'm not congested. This is a real life. I don't know what it is that I have. It's a congestion. So it is to flow. I painted in Chinese flux. that also means mucus, flux, like in very big rice paper on the floor. So hope it flows where it's to go. Yeah. If possible, bring security to Camden's owns. That would entitle you as a benefactor of the people who speak in your behalf from the country of the free in the new world. You should be proud of her. The narratives are part of the people as well. These narratives are meant to be for healing and transformation. It's not a judgment. The final judgment is to be liberated, because you're already walking without thinking to walk. So you don't have to do those things. It doesn't need to happen through. There is forgiveness that can transform and heal. And there is love also through those. Little and more, little and more. With more consciousness to stop this. So if a person is presenting 7,000 people being abused in the dark web, people and children, why the CIA is only interested in experimenting with the masses to protect, instead of protecting the vulnerable. And we are moving towards consciousness. So you demand that when you know it exists, with one single word. The tone changes. I don't need to explain. But you have, with one simple word, request that. Yeah? It's Coca-Cola. I should have water to drink, but sacrifice giving everything for this moment, and well, the neighbor had this Coca-Cola there from the pizzas he ordered, because they give it for free, but he doesn't like it either. Waiting for my money to come, so I get pure water. One day I won't have water from a gallon, 5 gallons. It will be just pure water without plastic bottle. I will have beautiful water from my shower. But in Windsor, the water is not natural. So I have asked people around. I said, no, it's the water here in Windsor. London is better for some reason. We don't have pure water. So the hair gets all... I wonder, you know, the values we share. So you give all this from your own, that's been given to you from family, and how can you give back to your family and your people? So you're transcending your own pain by judging others. You were judged by that. So you're judging that you were judged at the same. So there is a frequency of the same judgments and pain. You are what you were, and you are also the perpetrator, because you were also a victim. So just get to the the vibration, and how can you create through this to higher standards. So it's very interesting, no? It's very interesting to see, like, if a woman is afraid to lose her husband or her life, probably she has stolen a husband in her past life, and it's her karma to be afraid all her life. To have love and let others to love is more dignifying. I don't think God created a church where people would punish each other until death to do what's correct by society, and then the natural urge of man and woman gets twisted in different ways, right? So there is nothing more beautiful than seeing couples together and they treat each other with respect when they're coming in the store, with love, for that single moment. You know, your wife is shopping. You might not like to be shopping as a man, but you can see when there is a true love throughout their lives, and you are being a witness of their union. Okay, to end with something that's compelling to me, which is true love. Bye.